you staring at, Ganef?
I don't know what that means.
Quit squealing. First time in the big city? Have some respect if you don't know who you're running your mouth at. What did they put such a swell in jail for?
I showed a couple of Russian soldiers when I think about the petitions.
I have moments like that sometimes.
And I gave it to some Ruskies in the kisser, too. There's this red-bearded fella sitting there. I glassed him in the face, then kicked him in the bean, and wham! On the floor. And I pinched his billfold, too.
Did anybody ask you? Shut your damn trap. Well, are you from somebody?
My name's Viktor Shulsky, and I work on my own behalf.
All right. Respect.
First of all, I am a thaumaturge.
Now them, I got respect for. I know one really decent Jew from Povishla, who's a wizard too.
How about you? You got a foreskin or what?
Is my foreskin any of your fucking business?
Well, no. I was just...
Schmuck. But you don't look like much of a Warsaw lad.
I'm just here for my father's funeral.
I hope you don't miss the funeral toasts. Welcome to Warsaw.
Shulsky, this yours?
That's right.
Then take it and get out of here.
Thank you.
I'm sure you don't remember me. My name's Hayat, Mordecai Hayat. I wanted to offer my condolences.
Thank you.
Please, forgive my prying. I know Mr. Shulsky took nitroglycerin for his heart, but how did he pass away? Was that his cause of death? His heart?
We've ruled out any coronary causes since the doctors couldn't confirm whether the deceased had a heart.
Yes, I understand. My condolences, once again. I'll leave you alone. I'm sure you want to bid farewell to your father.
I think I ought to arrest you, Thaumaturge.
I haven't done anything, officer. What's the problem?
I barely recognize you either. You still haven't figured out who I am? Don't be surprised. The last time we saw one another was 20 kilos ago.
Uncle Voronian?
I will not keep you. The guy's probably all alone back there, among those vultures circling Stasio. I'm sure she'll be glad to see you. Go on. We'll talk later.
Sister?
Victor. I'm so glad you came. I wasn't sure if my telegram had reached you.
I'm glad to. How are you holding up?
All this caught me off guard, but for now I don't have time to think things through calmly. Look at yourself. What happened?
Have you written to Mother?
Yes, but what can you expect? You know what Nadia is like. It was never her style to show up for family events like this. It's getting late, and we've still got the reading of Papa's will ahead of us at home. And I'll leave you two alone. I suppose you've got your own matters to clear up.
Fine, let's get this over with. So, it was me who got it right in the end. Back then, on the train platform, was the last time we saw one another. 15 years ago. After brief suffering, fell asleep in the Lord. Brief? I hope not. Did you write this yourself? A tyrant, bigot, and liar, mistakenly absolved, died after suffering all too briefly. That's better, and definitely closer to the truth. The day you died, you visited me in my dreams. I was a child when you hounded me out of here, and I remember you as you were back then. But in my dream you looked older. You gave me hell as usual. You didn't believe I'd succeed. You were wrong. I've come back with 2 saluters. Farewell, Father.
Am I intruding?
I was reflecting at the grave of my beloved father.
You tricked me. I heard something else. Stanisław and I were acquainted. You might say I knew everything about your father. Mr. Victor Shulsky, isn't it? Your absence from Warsaw has happily come to an end, I hope.
With all due respect, this is my personal business. It was my father who knew you, not me.
True. Please forgive me. I meant no harm. Again, my condolences.
I didn't catch your name.
My name's Konieczkin. Ivan Konieczkin. Goodbye.
Such interesting friends you had. I guess I'm more tired than I thought. Great-grandmother Josefina, a Thaumaturge. Grandpa Nikodem, a Thaumaturge. I barely remember him. We can go. The hardest thing was getting the lid of the urn. The scattering I could handle.
You can play the clown, but I know how much this has cost you. I'm glad you went.
Love at a funeral. Arrow's post-mortem. Is it suitable for a young lady in mourning to fraternize with bachelors? Konstancja Szabłowska, the Warsaw Courier. Could I ask for a brief comment?
Hyena.
Thank you. And you, sir?
I suggest you leave. Otherwise, I'll overlook your womanhood and make sure you can never pronounce a single syllable correctly again.
You'd permit that to happen, Judge? Maybe I should write about this.
And who would let you print it?
Someday the press will get the Russian boot off its neck, Judge.
I'm afraid none of us will live to see the day, my dear. Come on, children. I'm sure my Petya is already waiting for us at home.
I'd love to see my cousin.
Are you coming with us?
Thanks.
Get in. I'm sure the lawyer is already waiting for us.
Miss, your guests have arrived. The lawyer's upstairs too, waiting. A trifle jittery. Wonder if the tea I made him was too strong.
Thank you, Grażyna, dear. Let the guests wait. First, I want to take care of the will.
I'll just wet my whistle and join you all upstairs.
Make sure Uncle makes it upstairs sober. And I'll suggest you don't dawdle either.
Master Victor, good God! Half your face covered, but I could tell right away it was you. You look just like your father in his youth. Completely his spitting image. Should I make you some cocoa, Master? It would warm you up a little.
Make an extra creamy one for Ligia.
Oh, I won't skimp on her. Now, your sister's putting a brave face on all this, but she's really having a hard time. It's lovely to see you again. But that's enough jabber for now. I've got the guests and the cocoa, and I've got to whip up some food for you all later. We'll talk soon.
I'm glad you're here. I thought I'd have to drink alone.
So many goodies laid out for the guests. Having trouble picking something for yourself, Judge?
But this was Stachio's. It was special. Amber liqueur with quinces.
I think you mean quince liqueur with amber, right? If it's not here, I'm sure it's in the basement. But I won't grope around down there in the dark now. I've got my hands full.
Now, I don't want to trouble you either. Victor, could you track down a little bottle for your uncle?
I suppose I'm obligated to accept this mission.
Good lad. A nephew like you is a treasure. did it go? Mission accomplished?
I think this is the one Uncle wanted.
Yes. This is our little funeral battle. We would meet in Stasha's study after every funeral we went to, and raised a toast to the dead. And recently, we've been seeing one another more and more at such events. More and more. But this time, even he has left me. So, to an easy death, as Stasha and I used to say.
How did he die?
Hasn't Lygia told you?
I haven't even had the chance to ask.
He didn't suffer, but such images in the memory are better saved for later. I'd prefer to remember him as he was alive. What then? Am I drinking alone?
May the ground be soft, Father. I'm not betting there's an afterlife.
Well, obligation fulfilled. Shall we get to the reading of the will?
At the funeral, there was this sad Jewish fellow, Mordechai Hayat. Do you know him, Uncle?
He worked for Stanisław, but that was a long time ago. I don't know him more than that. So, shall we collect our inheritance?
Yes, let's find out what my father hasn't left me.
Let's begin if everyone is ready. Would you all please take a seat? Ladies and gentlemen, by the power of my office vested in me by the grace of His Imperial Majesty, the Emperor of all Russia, I hereby testify. Mr. Szulski's last will and testament were prepared several years ago in the presence of Zaclav Fedorov, Esquire, that is, myself. My last will and testament recorded in the year of our Lord 1888. In the name of the Holy Trinity. Amen.
Excuse me, but could we get to the details?
Victor,
I think we all want to address more temporal matters, don't we?
In theory...
Would you be so kind?
Of course. Here we are. All movables and immovables relating to the family enterprise I entrust to the care and administration of my daughter. I do not prescribe a method of administering them. I merely offer her one piece of advice. To my brother-in-law and oldest friend, Alexander Voronin, I wish to leave the following. My collection of muskets and 2 revolvers, dating to the uprising in memory of our first meeting.
Stasio, I will have plenty to do in my retirement.
Enjoy your retirement. Now, Mr. Fedorov, what did my father leave my mother?
Victor, be serious.
Nothing. There is a special item reflecting the absolute lack of any bequest to my former spouse, Nadia Fyodorovna Voronina.
I wish you success with your business and your hunting. I'm going to have something to eat before heading off.
Just a moment yet, Mr. Szulski. Your name is also mentioned here.
A last-minute plot twist.
I would also like to come to the aid of my only son, Viktor Szulski, by entrusting him with the use of my personal black grimoire, in the hope that he will be able to make good use of it. This is my last will and testament. Carry it out solemnly, though you may have found it burdensome. However, this last bequest poses a certain problem.
Yes, it certainly does. And what is that, may I ask?
I am not in possession of this grimoire. The late Mr. Shulsky used it up until his death, yet no one left it with me after his passing.
Meaning it's disappeared? Did Father have his grimoire on him at the time of his death?
It was only because of the grimoire that we could identify him at all.
What actually happened? How did he die?
A building collapsed on top of him. I don't know any other way of putting it.
Where did it happen? Where was this building?
The southern part of Śródmieście, not far from the police station. Anyway, you can miss it.
Of all the possibilities, this was the death that fate prepared for him.
He died as he lived, miserably. He couldn't have met a more fitting end after what he did to me. What he did to the Niedzic's family.
You've got to know that Papa felt guilty, even if he didn't say so outright. I'm not going to defend him, but I can't criticize him either. Even I don't know what really happened back then with Abauritze.
An accident is what happened, and Father treated two kids like the worst disgraces in the world. As if it had been premeditated.
When a person dies so suddenly, their unfinished business remains. We'll never learn what Stasio carried in his heart.
What do you intend to do?
Father evidently knew a certain Ivan Konieczkin. Have you heard anything about him?
Konieczkin? No, doesn't ring a bell.
All sorts of people came to Papa's store. That doesn't mean every one of them might know something about the grimoire.
That's true. You've got your work cut out for you.
And Mordechai Chayat. Could that be a lead?
I don't think so. He worked with Father, but he left more than a year ago. I don't know why. He was an assistant at my store.
Do you know where I might find him?
Sadly, no.
Do you have any other ideas?
I think we have to look for the answer in the place where it happened.
With your sight, you can make out more in those ruins than I, or Uncle, or Detective could. This is a good lead, but is it the only one?
And where are Father's things at the moment?
You're standing at the very center of his kingdom. Not everything has been sorted through yet, but you go right ahead.
And the store? I should check there too.
I've started stock-taking there to distract myself, and I don't want you to go in there before I've finished.
As you wish. Now at least I can see how little I know. Maybe these scraps of information will lead me somewhere.
Well, now that we know what's got to be figured out, forgive me, my darlings. I'm going to give my old bones a rest.
I'll see you out.
Goodbye, Uncle. And, Ligia. I'm sorry it happened this way. That I wasn't close by.
The most important thing is you're here now.
How do you find our old stomping ground? Yes, I'm not too fond of this place either. This is where I had my last conversation with my father, just before I left. If you can call it a conversation. Can you see my dreams? Nightmares, actually. Ever since I decided to come back, I keep reliving the same memory. The loan shark incident. I've been seeing his death more and more lately. I wonder if his shop is still there. Perhaps we should go there and check. That sure is noisy. Hello?
I talk here? Do you hear me now? Victor? Victor, are you there?
Grigori? Yes.
Victor, where are you?
On the other end of the line, at home, where the telephone rang.
Incredible.
How did you know I have a telephone at home?
Something's interrupting you, Victor. I am telecommunicating with you to say I found lodgings here in Warsaw. If you need me, I'm by the cemetery. What number is it? Yes, 7 Powaskowska Street. Number 7 by cemetery. Powaskowska.
I'm glad. It's good to hear your voice.
It's good to hear you as well. Goodbye. I want to end now. What do I... like this? Wonderful device. Remarkable. Hello? Oh, and now?
Master Victor, let me guess. Have you come for some hot cocoa?
Yes, a cup of cocoa would do me good.
Help yourself. The pot is in the salon, along with some of your favorite cookies. It's been an age since we've seen one another. I'm glad you're back. Mistress Ligia is really struggling with everything.
Ligia won't open up to me, but how is she doing?
She's having a rough time, the poor dear. Her heart is heavy, though she doesn't show it, but she's strong. She keeps her chin up and doesn't give in, and it's good she's got you to help now, Master. Only she started smoking like a chimney. She takes after her father, no question about it.
And so, the great Stanisław Szulski is dead, crushed by a building. Can't say I'd wish a death like that on anybody.
An awful death, sheer cruelty. Mr. Szulski didn't deserve it. Now all we can do is think back on what a wonderful man he was.
That won't take long. So, this death, what do you make of it, Grażynka?
I'll tell you in confidence, Master Szulski. Now, I'm a simple woman, but something about your father's death doesn't sit right with me.
How do you mean, Grażynka?
Don't you suspect some impure powers had a hand in it?
Do you mean it could have something to do with thaumaturgy?
That I don't know. Look at us jabbering while there are potatoes not peeled. Forgive me, Master.
Another time, Grażynka. I'll get out of your way.
Always ample work, but I can always snatch a moment for a chit-chat with you, Master.